Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. You're on Serious Gaming. I'm gonna head to the monastery. There's someone I need to talk to, the Overseer's Hand. And then I need to find, to conduct that investigation surrounding the stone.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
I'm here on behalf of the master fresco painter. He said you sent him away empty-handed 3 times already.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
I see. You can't because you don't have any. And you don't have any because you're selling it out the back door, eh?
Suppose I was. I don't see what business it is of yours.
What if I told you I'm the emissary of the royal hetman Radzig Kobyla, and you've got yourself mixed up with a counterfeiting gang?
Counterfeiters? Meaning what?
Somewhere around here is a counterfeiter's workshop. They need the quicksilver to make fake groschen.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon. Directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was. Without a crest. Armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota. Scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery. That they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
Okay, maybe I should turn him in, but whatever. Going down, at any rate. There are things to investigate around here. So someone in the monastery knows what's going on. Okay. Now, beyond that, there is still the matter of that stone that fell.
The stone fell on him here. You can still see the marks. This has to be the stone that hit him. I'll take a piece of it. Maybe someone will recognize it.
Okay. That works. And I'll keep going. Alright, Jinda. Now, there is the matter over here. What time is it? It's cloudy. He told me it had fallen somewhere. But where? Where did it fall? There's the devils. Oh, wait.
It looks genuine, but I'm not capable of judging.
Right. Okay. Let's see what he has to say. A new patch came out. I'm not sure if all the mods that I have work. The no arrow trails ones that one does work. Let's go.
Look where you're going. Who is it? Hey.
Hold on. Right, it's probably here.
Good day to you.
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
I found this skull. People are saying it's the skull of a demon, but I don't know.
It certainly looks like it, with the horns and all. Well, let's see. Those are deer antlers that someone's fixed to this human skull. It's not a devil, just a bit of devilry.
I'm glad to hear it's not the real thing. Someone must have put it there deliberately, knowing that's where they were due to dig.
And they put a lot of work into it, too. The horns are held on tight, even though it was lying in water. Whoever did this was skilled bugger, and no mistake.
God bless you. What troubles you?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Why?
I don't want to alarm our prey. Gossip spreads quickly, and if those scoundrels learn we're onto them, they'll flee.
That does make sense.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
Not yet.
Maybe it would be worth the time.
I'll go and see.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapita.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard. Master engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
Okay, pickpocketing. I need to get that up a bit. Lock picking, level 12. I think I'll need level 15 or so to be able to get the highest level chest. But I'm getting there slowly. I wouldn't necessarily care too much, but there is a quest that involves this. Okay, the tailor as well. Let's see these quests. All right. Fade to black, really. First time I'm dealing with that necessarily. But I guess it's with the level of detail. Anyway, it's raining. That means that people are inside. Well, except that cunt. I can probably open this lock, to be honest. Just gonna wait. No, it's not actually safe. Fight the downpour. Well, this rain has certainly made them more difficult to find. That fellow. I guess I'll need to search.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Alright.
God save.
Where in blazes did they run off to?
All I want is something to keep that damn cow out.
Hasn't he been at it a couple of years already?
Stuck here with all the cripples. Meanwhile, Thomas and Pavel are probably playing dice up in the back.
Okay. Where is this guy? So dark though.
God save you, good night. What can I do?
The skull is a fake. Someone fixed horns on a human skull.
But where would they get a human skull? And why would they do it?
Maybe to frighten the workers? Raise the price?
But that wouldn't help anyone. It had to be some idiot's idea of a prank. An idiot who was nearly responsible for getting a man killed.
Good day, Henry.
Okay, I'll deal with this later. Clearly, I can't find this guy. Not in this weather. Okay, dismount here. Talk with this guy.
How are you, Henry?
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone. Which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague, or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high, or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest. As though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel? Other than his furious and deeply disappointed master, of course. About your question, you'll find him at home. No doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
A woman from the baths? What did she do?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry for my ne'er-do-well apprentice, but on that occasion I made an exception.
Do you have any idea why she did it?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bath-maid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and acted accordingly, although one would have thought they'd be used to that sort of thing at the bathhouse.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
The tree by the hill. On the hill, that's what he said, right? I'll check it out. Maybe this one? Somehow doubt it. Can barely see a thing despite the fact that it's the middle of the day. I might need to come back here later. Hold on, maybe I can talk with the overseer's hand again. No, wait, I couldn't. I saw him earlier, I couldn't. So I need to check. Okay. Okay, go there.
Aye, that's all I need.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
Are you in need of a helping hand, Master Butcher?
Helping hand? No. But I've got a problem with supplies.
I understand. The roads aren't safe these days.
No, that's not what I want. Beef and pork, I can get plenty of. But the burgers here have a taste for aristocratic food. Maybe you can help me with that.
You want me to poach game?
Heaven forbid I would even suggest such a thing. No, you would have to get it by, other means.
I don't want to spoil your plans, but game doesn't grow on trees.
No, but if you happen to be walking in the woods and, you came across something, if you see what I mean.
All right. Let's say I'll take a walk in the woods and I'll come across something and bring it to you.
Excellent! I'm glad to see you speak my language. Get me a wild boar for now, so I see what you can do. And don't worry, you'll be well rewarded.
I hear you're at odds with Apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther. Poor girl. I shudder to think what's become of her.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but I didn't see the harm, so I sent her in to him. And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and shoving her into a boat.
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he wises up, he'll get the girl back.
I assume that Florian knows this, Esther.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain, and if they don't, they're relatives. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends. She should have stuck with the turnip heads.
Where can I find this Florian? I'd like to ask him a few questions.
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is in the cellar if he rents from the baker. He's afraid of me, for sure.
What did the bailiff make of it?
Don't even get me started on that. He's a little fine. I won't say what. I told him everything, but he says he won't do nothing about it.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some as reckon my Esther deserves what she got. Poor girl.
It sounds like you were close to Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came to me as an orphan, like a wolf child she was. I raised her and taught her and gave her a job, and now she's gone. Who knows if she's even alive?
I'd like to know...
Okay, that would be it. Now let's talk with Florian and see what the idiot has gotten himself up to.
Welcome, Henry.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dice for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I didn't want to get involved, I swear. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
Who is Esther?
My girl, of course. That scum took her right out of the bathhouse.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Very well. I'll bring back your Esther.
Really?
Yes, but then you have to tell me everything.
I will. I swear to God Almighty. Please, just bring her back to me. Nothing else matters.
Where are they keeping her?
In the Skalitz Hills. There are some abandoned cottages around the mines. That's where I saw her last. They took me there when I said they had to let me speak to her.
All right. I'll go there and try and think of something.
You're my saviour.
Don't get your hopes up. Anything can happen.
Yeah, he's not kidding about that. Skalitz. Huh. Quite a lot of things to do there. Not just the main quest. Obviously, there is more than just that. Okay. All right. So, they would be there. And that would be around there. Okay, I'm heading to Ravna. And I'll deal with the rest as I come across of it. First off, obviously, I will save that girl. Might need to make some more savior schnapps if it comes down to it, but probably don't need that many more anyway. What's going on? Come on! Well, that human. Oh, hold on.
What's that?
Yo!
Boyo!
Okay.
Enough! Please! Oh, I did.
I'm gonna enjoy this. Where could he have vanished to? He must be here somewhere. What's going on there?
Okay, then I got stuck in the forest for some reason without the way. I probably won't stop to fight people, if it comes down to it. Alright, this is a better thing than having that location. I need to cross the river. Or stream, whatever. That works.
entertainment, great.
Raise the alarm! Watch out!
Enjoy this. Get over here!
Come see the idiot!
I'll slaughter you.
Fucking hell!
You're done for, fucker.
Ow!
I'll do anything. Just please take me away from here.
They won't hurt you now.
However did you find me?
Florian told me where they took you.
I'm a fool. I thought he was just a dandy, God knows why. And it turns out he's a villain in league with thieves. And a coward too. This whole time he knew where I was.
It's not Florian's fault. He was terrified they'd do something to you. They had him over a barrel.
You're right. Poor Florian must have been more scared than me.
I'd say so.
I should probably set off.
I'll go with you. I'd hate to lose you on the way.
God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
I found that Esther of yours.
I know! Back already. How can I ever thank you?
By telling me all about the goings-on with Rapita.
They found me in the tavern one evening. Caught me when I went to the ship pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapita. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. And I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapita?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Good luck, and thanks for the help.
Look where you...
Are you Rappator by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know that you spy on Florian. I know you were involved in the kidnapping of the bath maid, and I know why you're doing it all.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time. No, I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skullet's mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skullet's Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Jezek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Jezek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Jezek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Jezek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Jezek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronov back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Jezek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Jezek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
Ah, you're not worth tainting my sword with your blood. Now get lost before I change my mind.
The only reason I spared his life is because I know who Margrave Jobst is and what he's done. So that's why I showed mercy there. And what Margrave Jobst will do. Just want to be clear on something, one should not be fooled by the portrayal of characters. Some of these guys were absolutely cunts in history. Or warlords. Or bandit lords, or whatever. Anyway, Costin signing.